Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coe Show. My name is Mason Coe here, as always, with my co-host Aaron Coe.
Howdy.
Today is Wednesday, March 17th. We got March Madness and some
St. Patty's Day.
and St. Patty's Day. Today is St. Patty's Day. We will get into some NFL free agency news, but before that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff, and follow us on Twitter at Mason Charles Coe, at Aaron Coe 29. And I guess we'll just, with that being said, hop into it. Always got to start off the show on a somber note. So, rest in peace, Rusty Tillman, former assistant coach for the Seahawks. You definitely know more about him than I do. So, go ahead.
Yeah, I think he was the longest tenured coach in team history. He was there for, 16 years? Something like that. He was a special teams coach. That's what he was mostly known for, and the Seahawks were great in that area during his tenure, even though the team wasn't always great. And, yeah, just a real, someone that I really identify with the Seahawks, where coaches come and go pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that really feels like a true Seahawk. So, R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. for sure. All right, let's just get off of this somber news.
Yeah.
I don't like this. I guess, I click over, forget that this is up next. Pretty somber news. I guess it depends on how you look at it, It was time for Drew Brees to retire. 20 seasons in the NFL, obviously. Leads all-time records in pretty much everything except touchdowns, and he was back and forth with Tom Brady this year on that. If he didn't break 37 of his ribs, maybe he's first in that category. But congrats to him, and just a great career. And I guess I am glad to see him go at this point.
Yeah, I think they have a good team coming back, so I'm sure it was tempting for him to try to stretch it out and try to take one more shot at the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you could just see that he just didn't have the zip on the ball that he once had. A little reminiscent of Peyton Manning.
Exactly. Yeah.
Who was able to win one at the end, but due to the, one of the great defenses.
For sure.
It's amazing what he did. And, he was, he got beat by UW in the Rose Bowl. Let me just mention that. But after that setback, he was one of the first quarterbacks that was a little shorter.
Mm-hmm.
That was why he slipped in the draft a little bit to really succeed. Put up amazing numbers, obviously. Is one of the all-time greats. Now, it's going to get interesting, I think. I want to know what you think about this. So when I was a little kid, when I was your age even, it's like, Dan Marino and Elway and those guys. If you look at the numbers, if you want to look at stats, it's all the recent guys have the big stats.
Yeah.
But guys are going to get passed because the passing game's not going away. So will we be, 10 years from now when all these other quarterbacks kind of start leapfrogging, the Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is like top 5, right, in stats, but we don't think of him as a top 5 all-time quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So where will Drew Brees be 10 years from now when he's going to get passed probably by some guys?
I think actual football fans are going to have an appreciation for him. I feel like he's going to be like Johnny Unitas. No one talks about Johnny Unitas ever.
Right.
In 10 years, I think we'll still be talking about Drew Brees. I think when you talk about Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, Drew Brees is going to be in there with those names. So
okay.
I don't think his legacy is ever going to be gone like that. But 50 years down the road, I think maybe it's a very different story where, I just threw out the name Johnny Unitas because I don't hear his name a lot, but he's also the big football fans, especially the old heads, say he should be in GOAT consideration. So
yeah.
I feel like that he'll be the Johnny Unitas from my generation. I'll be yelling at my grandkids that Drew Brees should be considered one of the greatest of all time, and they'll be like, "Who the fuck is Drew Brees?"
Yeah, if we have the GOAT conversation today, he's not it, but he's like someone's gonna bring up his name. Well, he's number one.
There's a tier. If we're talking like a tier list, there's a GOAT tier, and he's in that GOAT tier.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see if he stays there. But yeah, fantastic. I always root for the short guys for some odd reason.
Yeah, yeah, weird.
It's surprising that Brady kind of hogged all the Super Bowls. I thought him and the coach
Peyton,
Peyton would win more than one.
Definitely, I thought so. Even if you would have asked me 4 years ago, I would have said yeah. So,
yeah, great career.
And then next up potentially, so Taysom Hill gets signed to
the next GOAT.
Taysom Hill, yeah. Taysom Hill gets signed to a 4-year, $7.5 million contract that's disguised as a 4-year, $140 million contract. Yeah. You see 140, and then you also see, all years are voidable. So congrats to Taysom Hill for a 1-year, $7.5 million contract. And then, honestly, the reason I guess this... I'm pretty certain that he won't see really any of that 140 is they also did re-sign Jameis Winston to 1 year worth up to $12 million. I'm guessing a lot of that's incentives. Maybe if he wins this quarterback duel, he'll be seeing a lot of that $12 million, which I think he should. I don't know if he will.
It's an interesting one. So I think it's starting at 7 and up to 12.
Yeah.
So they're basically throwing $7 million at both guys and see who comes out of the cage.
Yeah.
With Taysom Hill, you have the ultimate team guy. He's played receiver and running back and quarterback and
tight end
and special teams and all this stuff. But I watch him throw downfield and it's pretty ugly.
It's not. I mean, he's not a quarterback. He's just not. He's not like. It's insane to me to think, oh, he's such a good all-around football player. Let's just put him at quarterback, and he'll have success. He'll have the same success at quarterback as he will an all-around football player. It's not the case. No. If Taysom Hill's a starting quarterback for the Saints, not only are they not going to make the playoffs, they're not going to go 500. Wow. I don't think they're going to win. I think they'll go 6-10 if Taysom Hill's a starting quarterback.
Now with Jameis, you have the former number 1 overall pick, has all the tools that you want. Looked like he took better care of his body prior to this season. He got humbled.
Got LASIK eye surgery. People don't talk about it.
Yeah, just like in Major League with the pitcher, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't see the strike zone. Couldn't see the different colors in the jerseys, apparently.
Yeah.
Because he threw the 30 picks a year ago.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I've never really liked him. I don't trust him. I think he might win the job this year and have a good season. Because he's still having to prove himself. I would never sign that guy to a big guaranteed money deal. I don't trust him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in full support of giving Jameis a shot.
Sure, yeah.
Just because, a guy like him, I'm not saying he's like a smart quarterback by any means, but I feel like to succeed in a Bruce Arians offense, not only do you need to not be a dumb quarterback, but I think you need to be pretty exceptionally smart.
Yeah. And you got to take the criticism too,
and you got
to get it.
And there's other things that go along with that. And I just think potentially with Sean Payton, I feel like that's a much better fit for Jameis.
Right.
Just even as a dude in the building, but also in his offense. I mean, Drew Brees couldn't throw the ball more than 5 yards last year, and Jameis does have he has a big arm, but. I don't think Sean Payton's going to put the pressure on him quite as much as Bruce Arians does with his quarterbacks. So, yeah. Interesting to see. I hope Jameis Winston wins it. I think ultimately, I don't think you're going to see Taysom Hill start 16 games, even if he's healthy. And I think if he does, 6-10. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's if they do better than that, it's not going to be because of him. It's going to be because they have a pretty good team around him. But yeah, I don't I have no faith in him being a upper tier quarterback by any means.
Yeah, no.
I didn't see. I mean, there were guys fair catching the football after he threw it, for God's sake. So
Yeah, he even played punter. Crazy.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, maybe you should try punting it instead of throwing it.
Yeah. All right, so Ryan Fitzpatrick.
It's magic.
He's back, baby, going to Washington. I like this. I just like him in Washington. I don't know. It seems like a very good fit for Fitzmagic. especially seeing what's his face, Taylor Heineke go out there and just kind of ball out and have fun with it last year. There were shades of Fitz magic out there. So I just like both of them on the same roster. But ninth team and 17 seasons, he's the definition of a journeyman. And I mean, football team win the division next year. It's again, it's like, I mean, Cowboys got Dak back. That's the big thing. But
the Cowboys will, as always.
Like
everyone will crown them.
Yeah, with Taysom Hill on the Saints, I said he'll win you 6 games in a bad way.
Yeah.
Fitzmagic on the football team, he'll win you 6 games in a good way.
Right, right.
For sure, he'll get you 6. And if you have, they have a great defensive line that they'll get stops and stuff. So. Yeah.
Yeah, I always it's hard not to root for that guy.
Of course, yeah, he's very lovable.
And
he's from Harvard?
Yeah.
Did you know he's from Harvard?
Nuts.
Whoa.
Yeah. Doesn't look like a Harvard guy necessarily. He's oddly a blue collar like quarterback, out of Harvard. But yeah, I hate that the Washington, the DC football team. I'm not going to call them the Washington football team because I already root for one of those. The DC football team. I hate that they keep finding reasons to make me kind of low key root for them. Mm-hmm. How could you not root for Alex Smith?
Is this precisely a move by Dan Snyder to make the football team more lovable?
Maybe.
I didn't even consider that, but you just planted the seed in my brain.
Yeah, it's like, how can I get away from being a racist and sexist pig?
Yeah. Look, he has big beard, big beard, big beard. Look.
I'm gonna hide behind his beard.
Yeah.
So and then I like Ron Rivera. I've always thought he was a really good coach. Mm-hmm. And then he battled leukemia last year.
Yeah.
So you had to root for him to come out of that. Now I have to root for Fitzmagic. I mean, God, just stop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on the bright side, people from Philly are just trash cans, and Cowboys fans trash cans. So I mean, I don't mind rooting for the football team. I just hope Dan Snyder sells the shit. I don't know.
That'd be nice. I hate him, and
I curse them until Dan Snyder sells.
I hated them when I was a kid. There were 2 teams I hated: the Steelers and the Redskins. Mm-hmm. I said it. Well, they were.
No.
They were when I was a kid. That's what they were called, unfortunately. So I've always not liked them.
Yeah.
And I.
Are you saying you didn't like Native Americans? You've never.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Oh
yeah.
Gosh.
Moving on.
No.
Let's see. What do we got next? Oh yeah, Patriots just balling out. So
that's so
crazy. This Schefter tweet, I'll just read it. In less than 24 hours, the Patriots have guaranteed over $137.5 million, placing them second in the NFL history for the most guaranteed money in a free agent signing period. Keep in mind, that was less than 24 hours. So they really balled out, signing mostly defensive guys, except they did get AJ Green went to the Cardinals. They got Hunter Henry, which is, I feel like he's an extremely dynamic tight end.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah. Also, might as well just mention it now because I just did. AJ Green to the Cardinals. I mean, I don't know if that's, he didn't really do shit last year. He also didn't want to be on the team, so it's hard to say. But the Cardinals is the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Browns is the Browns. Cardinals is the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So.
I'm shocked by the Patriots. I mean, they look like me playing a full season of Madden, where I just look at the top rankings and just start signing guys.
You're like, I'm winning the Super Bowl this season. Yeah.
And because they have never signed free agents, they don't even sign their own free agents, let alone other people's.
This is where it gets interesting too. The list of most guaranteed money spent in free agency, obviously prior to this year's Patriots. 2020 Dolphins, $147 million, missed the playoffs. 2019 Jets obviously missed the playoffs. 2016 Giants lost in the wild card, and keep in mind, 2016 Giants, they weren't good. That was a bad. Yeah. They won the division, but it was a really bad team. Yeah. So 2018 Bears, same thing. That wasn't a great team. And then 2018 Jets also missed the playoffs. So interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, just such a departure from what Belichick has done.
I feel like he has some master plan. I feel like he realized the cap is like the Saints made him realize that the cap is just made up shit, and so he's just gonna do this every free agency somehow.
Well, it makes me wonder a couple things. First, there are two thoughts on this. So one is he like, it wasn't just Brady, goddammit, and I'm gonna prove it.
Yeah.
And then also, does this mean he's like, I'm gonna be around for just another year or two?
See, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Which also I think if this doesn't work and he bounces in a couple years and leaves them with a mess, I think that should affect his legacy. Like, I don't know.
I mean, everybody kind of tries to kick it down the road, but he may, like you said, he may be just seeing expecting the cap to get a lot bigger with big, a big TV.
Ultimately,
deal.
I don't see Belichick ever setting the Patriots up to like be fucked over, even years down the road, because I don't think he knows when he's gonna retire ever. I think one day he's just gonna be like, I don't know.
I don't feel like going to work today.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So I don't think he would do this where you see GMs do this a lot where they just take some massive swings to try to save their ass, and
he doesn't need to save his ass at all. Like,
well, no, not save his ass, but like just take some massive swings because they think they're gonna be gone soon.
Right.
And so Belichick is not doing it to save his ass, obviously, but he thinks he's gonna be gone soon.
Yeah,
in the same way that other GMs do it to save their ass because they know they're gonna be gone soon.
I'd love to win one more on the way out the door.
Exactly,
for
and
sure.
then the GMs do it just so they can keep their jobs, hopefully. But
yeah, very, very curious to see how that works out. And I've never seen him be what I would. I think this is a little irresponsible.
I would
what
think
he's
so.
doing,
And once again, it makes me feel like he has something up his sleeve, and there's something we don't know about, some trick
he's
he has.
cheating somehow.
Yeah. No, but I feel like he just realized that the salary cap is a farce, and he's just
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I guess. What else we got? Oh, John Ross to the Giants. I don't know.
So he's joining. No, it's not. It's a nothing thing, but it's interesting that the two busts from UW are both on the same team.
Yeah.
What's his name? The other guy, the punt returner.
Oh, Dante Pettis.
Who the 49ers never let return punts, even though he's the greatest punt returner and
college history.
So those two guys. Hopefully one of them pans out. But
I mean, I'm rooting for him.
It's not really. It's not news unless you're a Husky fan.
Oh, congrats to Lou Dort, baby.
Lou Dort, our guy.
Fully guaranteeing. Fully guaranteeing the final 2 years on his contract for 2021, 2022. He's having a great season. 12.4 and 3.6, and he'll probably be on an all defensive team. So, they say he puts people in the torture chamber.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And I just want to say, we were clowning on Lou Dort hard in that one game, and then he had like 30 points.
I know.
It was so crazy.
I still said he sucked even after that.
That was the like worst. I think that was the worst game I've ever had as a fan. You know what I mean? And I hope it was bad for both of us.
Well, they kept leaving him wide open, and he kept shooting, and he made probably a third of his shots.
That's the thing. He
still missed like 15 3-point
but
shots.
He had like the game-winning defensive stop.
And
he was putting people on lock that whole night too. We just were paying attention to his missed shots.
He's a good player.
Yeah,
but there was a reason they were leaving him open.
For sure. Actually, hold on. Before we slander, I want to see what his 3-point percentage is this year.
Okay, it's probably
Lou Dort stats. Yeah, so, okay, while I look this up, Chicago, this is pretty just interesting, little Russ update. Chicago offered 3 first-rounders, a third, and 2 starters for Russ. You say 2 starters, it's 2 Bears starters, so...
Who knows who that is?
Is that Khalil Mack, or, I don't know. But Seattle declined, that's obviously a big haul. It really just depends on who those starters were. Who were the starters?
Yeah,
was it Mitch Trubisky? Like who was it their kicker? Like who were the starters?
Yeah, there's some pretty bad starters on that team.
Exactly. Okay.
The thing is, so Chicago.
He's shooting 33% from three, which is like just below league average.
Okay,
so it's
not
bad.
too bad.
Not
I mean,
bad.
he's probably being left wide open still, but
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You know, with the Russ situation, when someone said 5 first-round picks, that piqued my interest a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can't help but 5. I mean, that's fucking crazy.
But 3 first-round picks, I'm like, okay, they're picking number 20 this year.
Yeah.
If it was a top 5 pick, yeah, I'd probably be very interested in that. But you have to assume if they got Russ, you figure they're gonna win 9 or 10 games. You know, and they're going to be picking in the 20s.
That's what I'm thinking.
So all those picks are probably 20 and up. You're going to be picking. So those are not very valuable. I mean, they're valuable picks. Don't get me wrong, but they're not.
It's not.
You're not getting.
You're not getting
Penei.
You're not getting Penei Sewell.
No.
You're not getting.
You're getting guys that are busts quite often.
You're getting like a solid swing at it.
Yeah.
That's what you're getting. You're getting a solid hack. And quite frankly, Schneider has not hit on his solid hacks recently.
I mean, he would probably trade down, so those 3 picks would end up being
12,
47 picks in the third round.
Exactly.
But,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. How good? Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How good is Russell Wilson?
So this question definitely it carries more weight after this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think before this year, even before the playoffs, I would have been like, he's top 2, top 3 quarterback, and you don't trade a guy like that.
Yeah.
But I think the last part of the season and in the playoffs, it was, you see him running around with his head cut off, and some of it was his fault.
Slower than he used to.
Be. So he's not, when he's escaping, he's buying himself more time instead of breaking those off for 5-10 yard gains.
Yeah.
I think he's still I think he's a top 5 quarterback, no question.
Yeah.
But he's not unquestionably a guy that can, you have him on your roster. If you have a decent team around you, you have Super Bowl expectations. Because if that were the case, we would have seen a couple more NFC Championship games. Maybe it would have been to another Super Bowl. Because the roster hasn't been great, but I feel like it's been good enough to where if we're talking about him like we have been the last couple years, I feel like we should have, in the last 8 years, we should have done something.
Yeah.
Because really in the last 8 years, we haven't done shit.
Yeah.
Not even almost. We haven't done anything.
Haven't been to a conference championship.
No, haven't been.
Since the unspeakable.
Haven't been. So it's he's a great quarterback. Is he James Harden? Am I gonna say that right now? I don't want to say that, especially because he's a good leader. Well, I mean, is he a good leader? A lot of the people that left the team don't like him.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that left the team don't like him. So, because I think he seems fake, he comes off as fake to some people.
Yeah, he does.
So, and quite frankly, he does to me a little too.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So what I'm gonna say, this big take I have is I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know how good he is.
Yeah.
But what I'm gonna say is, if in the next 3 years, if whatever team he's on doesn't make it to a Super Bowl, I think his legacy should be in question, and I think he becomes James Harden. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he does have 1 ring, so let's not quite go the James Harden route. I mean, how much credit does he get for that?
Here's the. If James Harden won a ring with, James Harden doesn't get blamed for losing that 3-1 series to OKC with KD and Russ.
Yeah.
He doesn't get blamed for that. If he would have won that ring, he wouldn't have got credit for that, and people would still say, oh, it's because James Harden you can't win a ring. Because James Harden was not James Harden on OKC, just like Russ isn't Russ now. Russ wasn't what Russ is now.
Yeah.
That's my comparison I'm drawing.
It's tough. I mean, and especially after the season when after 6 games, we're like, oh, he's the MVP. Everybody's saying he's the MVP, and then
And he was like,
yeah,
that
like,
wasn't
this is a national
this wasn't
story.
Seahawks fans. He was the MVP.
The national narrative.
Yes.
From NFL writers all over the country was he's on his way to the MVP.
Yeah.
And then they kind of fell off a cliff, and a lot of that was on him.
Mm-hmm.
A lot people were talking about Pete demanding that they run the ball more. They were still like top 7 in early down passing. They dialed it back a little bit, but he was still cooking. He just wasn't cooking very well.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand that. Like, they still, like, look at Chris Carson's carries.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he wasn't getting it 30 times a game and slamming his head into a wall.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to. I'll say this. I'm not totally against trading him, but you got to have a guy though. And there was some what if they did a three-way trade and got Deshaun Watson? That would have been cool, but you're still in the same situation with a big money quarterback who's eating up your cap.
Yeah.
So I would draft a guy in the they don't have very many draft picks, but I would draft a guy in the middle rounds and see if you hit on someone. Because what you really want is a really good quarterback in his rookie deal. Yeah. Those are the teams that are winning Super Bowls for the most part. So I don't know. I definitely, don't. The city isn't going to love him. He's going to have to earn that back. The city is sort of like on him right now because he ran his mouth and
he. I mean, it's not like there's no bridges burned right now. There's no bridges burned. It's just like he was a little annoyed, and now we're a little annoyed.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So this could go a couple different ways. I mean, if the Seahawks win a Super Bowl or even get to a conference championship game, like, it's gonna we're back. Everything's good.
Let's keep it moving forward.
Like, he's probably gonna be happy.
Yeah.
If they have another early round, do they do their typical win 10 to 12 games and exit in the first or second round? This might be his last year. It could very well be.
To be completely frank,
Frank Clark.
I wish. I wish I was Frank Clark. To be quite frank, I don't know how. I hate saying this because I'm definitely such a spoiled fan. The win 10 to 12 games and losing the first or second round thing fucking pisses me off.
Yeah.
It feels like we're Andy Dalton right now. It feels like we're Andy Dalton. Not that Russ is Andy Dalton. It feels like the Seahawks are Andy Dalton, where you're good enough to keep your job and be okay and to not piss anyone off.
Right.
But not good enough to do anything real good.
Yeah.
That's what the Seahawks have felt like for 8 years.
Yeah. So if you trade him for those first round picks, you're probably gonna go 7-9, and then you're trying to find a quarterback. And if you find one right away, you might be right back up into that Super Bowl contention category. Or you could look at a lot of franchises that have spent a decade or more. Look at the fucking Bears. You want to know why they're trading for Russell Wilson? Because Sid Luckman is the guy they talk about, like you said before. That's the guy they talk about as their great quarterback.
To be honest, I didn't know who Sid Luckman was until I heard that Russell Wilson might be getting traded to the Bears because people are like, yeah, Sid Luckman is their best quarterback.
Yeah. Mitch Trubisky's like top 5 all time for the Bears.
Oh my God, I wish I knew who tweeted this. It was like top 5 Bears quarterbacks: Sid Luckman, Jay Cutler, Russell Wilson saying he would be a Bear. That's the third best quarterback for Bears.
Exactly.
Bears
so you got to be real careful about getting rid of a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah.
Because you could go into a real dark period.
Yeah.
The Seahawks have been there before. So you better have a plan. Is my only point. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it all goes.
Mm-hmm.
If you would have asked me a year ago, I would have said Russell Wilson is going to be in Seattle till he's 40 at least.
You think?
That's if you would ask me a year ago.
Oh yeah.
He's going to be in the Seattle Seahawks quarterback until he's probably 40.
That's what I would. Yeah.
Does he end up going somewhere for the last
Who? I mean,
years?
that's always a
toss
up. That's always a toss up.
Depends on where the franchise
Tom
is.
Brady, Peyton Manning did that shit. So it's like, who knows?
So but now I'm like, I don't know. I'm now up to 99% sure he'll be here this year, but next year I'm still like, 80%.
Yeah.
Push it back another year, 70%.
Again, I'm saying any win. I think for next year, it's starting at like I'm 80% chance he's going to be the quarterback for the team next year. And then pretty much anything less than going to the NFC Championship game drops it by 5%.
Yeah.
I think that's what I said last year. Or maybe you can do it also with like anything less than 12 wins knocks it off by 5%. Each less win you get.
What are your odds on him signing another contract with Seattle?
When is his deal up?
He's got 3 years left on this one.
50-50.
Okay. And
I'm straight 50-50 on that.
That re-signing him, that could start even after this season.
Yeah, true. I forgot extensions. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that won't happen.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
He'll I think maybe not test free agency, but he'll wait. He'll wait, definitely. Especially with the cap going up. I mean, no quarterback's gonna re-up 2 years before their contract ends anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Unless they're not confident in their ability. But all right, I guess let's move into March Madness.
Oh
so,
yeah, baby.
March Madness is here. The only time of the year I really watch college basketball, to be honest. And yeah, we filled out our brackets. Do you want to bet $5 on this?
Yeah, so like what overall points
Just
in
points.
the ESPN?
Yeah, ESPN
system?
points.
Okay, yeah.
$5. Okay.
Yeah, easy $5 for me because
Okay.
I'm so good at these brackets.
I
loved it when we used to do bracket challenges like with a bunch of your friends and the dads.
Yeah.
And I was like getting beat by 7-year-olds, like somebody's little brother.
Yeah.
There was a time when Annie had like your little sister had a 7-year-old friend who never watched a basketball game, and she did a bracket based on places that sound warm.
Yeah.
Places that they didn't mean they were warm, but places that sound warm. And she was ahead of me for a good part of that season.
That's the least amount of logic. Places that sound warm.
Yeah.
First of all, I mean, I guess places can sound warm, to be fair, but
that was her strategy.
That's great. Yeah. Okay, let's start with it. So, I guess the way we'll do this is, do you just want to talk about kind of our upsets, or do you want to go through and just kind of list them off quick, or what?
I would say.
Should we go back and forth, starting at the top?
Yeah.
Okay, Zags.
Yep.
Oklahoma.
Yep.
UCSB.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it!
They're kind of the hot. I think they're kind of the hot.
They're the hot 12 pick. Yeah. Also, I will say, a lot of my picks, they line up with John Rothstein. Do you know who he is? He's the college basketball guy.
Okay.
Funny Twitter follow because he just always comes up with these one-liners. But
it's gonna be really bad if we have the same.
No. So my bracket, some of it, I like the UCSB pick. I made that before I heard John Rothstein's picks. So some of it I did actually kind of listen to what John Rothstein said, but not all of it.
Gotcha.
Some of it was my own shit. So, okay, Virginia.
Here, I gotta put the glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Virginia is going to lose in the first round.
Okay.
This is how I'm gonna win.
Okay.
This is how I'm gonna win this bracket.
Okay. USC.
Yeah.
Kansas.
Yep.
Oregon.
Yep.
Iowa.
Yep.
Michigan.
Nope, we gotta scroll down. Yes.
St. Bonaventure.
Yes.
God fucking.
That's an 8 versus 9.
That's 8 versus 9.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yep.
Florida State.
Yep.
MSU/UCLA.
Yeah.
God damn it!
What the hell?
Texas.
Maybe I just looked at your bracket.
Yeah.
Texas.
UConn.
Yeah, because I hate Maryland.
Yeah,
so
fuck Maryland. Alabama.
Alabama.
Baylor.
Yep.
Wisco.
UNC. I'm going with the Tar Heels.
Okay. Respect. Villanova.
Winthrop, baby.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Here we go. Purdue.
Yes.
Utah State.
Yes.
God damn
That's a
it.
6 versus 11. We both picked the 11.
Arkansas.
Yep.
Florida.
Yep.
Ohio State.
Yep.
Illinois.
Yes.
Loyola Chicago.
Yes.
Didn't you pick them to go on a run because you passed by that school?
I was in Chicago, and I'm like, oh, that's Loyola Chicago. I was filling up my bracket on a shuttle,
Yeah.
and I'm like, fuck it, I'll pick them to win a couple, and they did.
And they did, yeah. And that was, I mean, they were not an 8 seed that year.
No, they were way like 14 or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Oregon State.
Nope. Tennessee.
Liberty.
Nope. Oklahoma
Okay,
State.
here we go. I got second round. I got 12 and 13 facing off.
Wow.
SDSU.
Yeah, I had to go with SDSU.
Go Aztecs. What? West Virginia.
Yes.
Rutgers.
Clemson.
Okay. Houston.
Yes.
Okay, and then we'll go back up to the top. Okay, Zags over Oklahoma.
Yep.
Virginia over UCSB, but you have Ohio against UCSB.
I'm going UCSB.
Okay.
They've got, they brought in a bunch of transfers from power schools, and I think that's going to carry them for a couple rounds.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, USC.
Kansas.
Okay, I hate to say this, but I have no trust in that Luka Garza kid, Oregon.
Yeah, I did pick Oregon. Oregon was pretty hot.
Yeah.
Toward the end of the year, starting to put it together.
Luka Garza is the prototypical wins you a bunch of games but doesn't get you far in the NCAA tournament player.
Agreed. Yeah.
Michigan.
Yes.
Florida State.
Yep.
Texas.
Yep.
Alabama.
Yep.
Baylor.
Yep.
Purdue.
I'm going with Winthrop.
Oh my God.
The Sweet 16.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Yes.
Ohio State.
Yes.
Illinois.
Yep.
Oregon State. I have them over Liberty.
I got Oklahoma State.
Over Tennessee,
over
right?
Tennessee, yep.
SDSU.
Ooh, I got to go with my boys back in West Virginia.
All right.
Yep.
And then I got Houston over Rutgers.
Yep, I got Houston beating Clemson.
Okay. And then back up. Gonzaga over not West Virginia. Gonzaga over Virginia.
Yeah, over UCSB.
Yeah. I got Oregon over USC.
I got Kansas beating Oregon.
Okay. Michigan over Florida State.
I'm going to pick the upset there.
Okay.
Florida State's going to knock it. Florida State has incredible talent.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of a boomer bust. So
Interesting.
This could be a great pick or it could be a terrible pick.
Right. Yeah. They could drop off early.
Yeah.
Alabama over Texas.
Yeah, I got Alabama.
Sorry. Baylor over Purdue.
Winthrop, this is where they go down. Baylor, yeah.
Arkansas over Ohio State.
Ooh, I'm gonna stick with Ohio State. I like Arkansas. That was a really tough one for me. I think Arkansas with Musselman has a chance to move forward. Yeah.
Illinois over Oregon State.
Yeah, I got Illinois over Oklahoma State.
Okay, and then San Diego State over Houston.
Ooh, you got the Aztecs rolling.
Yeah.
I'm going with Houston.
I think they're way underseeded, to be completely honest.
They were the team that got most fucked over last year by the tournament not happening.
Mm-hmm.
So sad because they had a great
team.
They had
23-0 or some bullshit. Yeah. And then, okay, Gonzaga over Oregon in the Elite Eight.
I got Gonzaga over Kansas.
Okay, and then Alabama over Michigan.
I also I have Alabama beating Florida State.
Okay, Baylor over Arkansas.
I have Baylor over Ohio State.
Illinois over SDSU, unfortunately.
Ooh, he's off the train now.
I'm off the train.
I got Illinois also over Oklahoma State.
Okay, so my final four. Zags, Bama, Baylor, Illinois.
I have... Hold on, I'm trying to figure out how to read this damn thing. I have Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Baylor.
Gonzaga wouldn't face Baylor.
Sorry. My bad.
You can click on the tabs at the top.
Thank you.
Yep.
Old man here. I don't have tabs. What are you talking about?
Oh, you have like a whole bracket thing. I don't know what your thing is.
Weird.
Yeah.
Why is
Is Gonzaga facing Alabama?
I got Gonzaga. I got Alabama. I got Baylor and Illinois.
Fucking A. We have the same final four.
We have the same. Oh my god.
Okay. And then I have Bama versus Illinois in the championship.
Ooh. Wow. So I have so is Baylor facing
Baylor's facing Illinois.
Baylor. I really like Illinois a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the couple teams that I thought really could win it. I think the two best teams are playing in that game, Baylor versus Illinois.
I agree.
But I have Baylor moving on.
Okay.
And then I do have Alabama knocking off Gonzaga.
Wow. So we both got Bama going to the championship.
Yeah.
And then so you got Baylor winning it.
I do.
Yeah, okay.
72-69. What?
My final score is 73-69.
Oh my god.
That's insane. Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, so we actually have very similar brackets.
Yeah, there's a
extremely
few.
like even our upsets, a lot of them.
We have a lot of upsets in common. We had a few differences there. You know, I like Baylor. I love my experienced guards.
That's what I did a lot of. Yeah, I did a lot of experienced guards. That's what actually never mind. I'll talk about later. Never mind.
Okay. I think that's going to carry them. They've got Mitchell, Butler, and Teague are all three really good guards with experience that I think are going to carry them through. You know, I think Gonzaga, how much have they really been tested this season?
Yeah.
It's a great team, but until they get to the top of the mountain, I'm not a big believer. I also, by the way, let me just say this. Those of you Husky fans out there who also like Gonzaga, kiss my ass.
Yeah, that's
weird. An in-state rivalry, motherfucker.
You're a weirdo if you like. I mean,
stop that shit.
Yeah,
it was cute back in the late 90s. It was kind of cute when they got to the Sweet 16, but no, not anymore. We need to hate them because they're kicking our ass.
What I will say is it's hard for me to say fuck Gonzaga just because there's such little conflict, you know? Like what I mean, they're not in the Pac-12. It's hard for me to like sell my brain on that, but I agree we should. Like it should be a fuck Gonzaga thing.
Yeah, I'm there. There's so many people that like I like them both. Oh, if they played the Huskies, I'd root for the Huskies, but if they're not playing that, fuck that bullshit. Stop that. Do that with UCSB or something that nobody cares about.
Yeah, that's
Stop
funny.
it.
Okay.
Stop it.
All right. Well, in that case, I guess I just realized forgot to put the headphones in. You could probably hear that very lightly on the mic. It's the clown of the week. I'll just stop
Clown of the week.
Clown of the week.
Clown of the week. The Howard Schultz clown of the week.
Okay, I'm gonna start this off on a somber note and get rid of it quick. High school girls basketball, fucking racist asshole. People were kneeling and he said the N-word multiple times. The kicker, the part that makes it a clown of the week and not just a racist asshole that we wouldn't talk about is he blamed it on his diabetes. So I actually know I have some friends with diabetes.
Wilford Brimley's fault.
Yeah, diabetes. I have some friends with diabetes, and I'm just wondering, those with type 1 diabetes, when your blood sugar spikes, do you start saying the N-word? Just let us know in the comments, because I personally don't have diabetes, so I don't have to worry about saying the N-word when my sugar spikes. Thankfully, who knows if who knows though?
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah, no. If you're not the analogy I heard on the podcast, great podcast, Jenkins and Jones, is my friend, when his sugar spikes, he doesn't start speaking Vietnamese. Like you don't start saying completely like shit that's not even in your vocabulary when your sugar spikes. So I mean, basically what he said, it's ballsy. He said, "I'm racist." That's what he said. It's like, sorry, I'm racist sometimes. I can't hold it in when my sugar spikes.
It's Oklahoma.
That's what he said. Crazy. And shout out the team that was kneeling. I forget the name. Shout out to them. They actually won their state championship for back to back. I think their leading scorer, their star player, is going to Texas Tech. So shout out to her. Congrats to that team. I wish I remembered the name. I just don't feel like looking it up.
Yeah, it's I think when your sugar spikes, like you become lightheaded and you may basically you become me.
Yeah.
Where you can't remember names and you don't know where you are and stuff like that. But you don't become racist. I remember back in your little league days, I had a parent yell and scream at me in the parking lot after it was after the last game of the season. And then later it was a blood sugar issue. I'm like, dude, you fucking hated me all year.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. That's not.
like,
Yeah.
stop. Don't blame it on
You
lost your shit.
You can't plan out a murder and then claim that your sugar spiked and that's why you killed the person in that moment.
Yeah.
Like you planned the murder and not likening that to a murder.
I buy it
situation.
I buy it if someone's spacey or they neglect to do something.
Yeah, they forget some shit.
Yeah,
It's,
that. Yeah, absolutely. Like it does affect you, but
You
no,
don't
it doesn't
forget-
make you racist.
You can forget some shit. You don't forget to not say the N-word. Like that's that's not the case.
I'm never gonna buy that.
No,
I'm
no.
just not ever gonna buy it.
No.
You can find all the racist doctors you want. I'm still not gonna believe them.
Yeah. All right.
So I'm going with the. I don't know if this counts or not, but I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, that's clown ass organization.
They
Just
have
put a little
spent,
clown nose on the Jaguar. Someone photoshopped that.
So we talked about earlier how a lot of the top teams don't spend on big money on free agents because it's a Robinson Cano type situation where you're just desperately trying to compete. The Jaguars have spent $1.4 billion since 2011.
Crazy.
$1.4 billion on other people's free agents. So that's not re-signing their guys.
No.
That's signing free agents from other teams.
Maybe,
and they've lost 75% of their games.
I was going to say,
span.
have they been the worst franchise in that stretch? Maybe the Browns.
I mean, they're right in the conversation. They went to one. They did go to that one AFC Championship game where they had a great defense.
That barely counts though, because all those guys were gone like the next year.
Yeah, it all melted down.
Yeah,
and they were kind of bad before that, and then really melted down after that. This tweet, by the way, is from Warren Sharp at Sharp Football. That's where I'm getting this information. Oh, by far the worst percentage in the NFL. They've lost 75% of their games in 10 years. And they're on their 5th head coach since 2011. So, I mean, yeah, that's how we all want our team to make a big splash. And here, Seahawks free agent update. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here it comes. Okay.
Thank you for the Seahawks free agent
update. That's the update. But here's the thing, 8 of the top 10 teams, they're, so I'm sorry, I'm blanking on. I'm having a low blood sugar moment. Okay. Okay. So this was a couple days ago from Field 8. So teams yet to acquire a free agent from a different team: Bears, Bills, Bucks, Colts, Eagles, Falcons, Packers, Rams, Saints, Seahawks. So 8 of those 10 were in the playoffs last year. So your top teams are not running out.
They're not shelling out
throwing cash at top tier free agents. That's not how you sustain success. So
yeah.
The Jags are desperate every year. They're throwing all that money. I don't know how they always have a lot of salary cap space, but
what's weird? Well, it's because they always
cut
end up
them all.
They cut them and trade them because they don't like it in Jacksonville. But it's weird that I don't know. It's just weird that they always choose to spend money when it's not like this is the guy we need to put us in contention.
Yeah.
It's always like, let's sign Shaquille Griffin to a 4-year contract and overpay him.
Right.
When we're about to hopefully get our franchise quarterback in it, it's going to be his rookie year. Let's overpay a cornerback for the next 4 years while our quarterback hopefully develops into one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Right.
Like, why? Why should thank you, so we don't have to pay Shaquille Griffin, but why?
Yeah, and it's the Seahawks will end up finding a corner that's close to that level.
Yeah.
For a quarter of the money.
Exactly.
Probably. It's just
and we could be wrong. I mean, Shaquille Griffin could actually turn out to be a star still. To be fair.
Yeah. He's a good player, no question. I just think that it's hard as fans to watch all these great players being taken off the board, but the Seahawks they let the market come back down to them typically.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to watch, but that's why they are winning, winning every year. Not to the level we always want, but they're, they haven't had a bad season.
Which just makes it even more weird that the Patriots are doing what they're doing.
It is. I don't get it.
Just adds on to that whole thing.
It worries me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He figured some shit out with the salary cap.
Figured something out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
the TV deal that they got is gonna like double the salary cap
Yeah.
next year. So he's like, just sign everyone I can. Like those contracts are gonna be worth nothing next year because of the TV deal.
Oh my gosh.
All right. I guess let's go into. Do you want to do lock or player first?
Go for it. You go.
I'll go with the lock of the week first, and it's one of my upsets in the tournament. Oops, I did not mean to. Okay, one of my upsets in the tournament's my lock. It's going to be Oklahoma State losing in the first round. The reason I say this is, where are they? Where's Oklahoma State at? Where are they?
It's in Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's true. It is in Oklahoma. That's in the round of 32. That's why I can't find them. Okay, yeah. So I think Oklahoma State's gonna lose, and the reason for that, if I can find them, is Liberty has some upperclassmen guards. First of all, step one. That's good.
I always like that.
And Oklahoma State has Cade Cunningham. That's the other reason. Now you're thinking Cade Cunningham's the best player in the country. He's gonna be the number 1 overall pick.
Right.
What the fuck are you talking about? That's exactly what I'm talking about. He's a freshman, best player in the country. That's going to be the number 1 overall pick. He doesn't care about a game against Liberty, even if it's in the tournament, to be completely honest. Maybe he would start playing hard by the time they hit the Elite Eight, but they're not going to make it there because they're losing in the first round to Liberty, because they're going to come out sleeping. Cade Cunningham's not going to want to maybe injure himself against fucking Liberty to hurt his bag going to the NBA.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look at
give me
Zion
Liberty.
Williamson. These one and done players very rarely lead to success in the tournament. There's a couple, Anthony Davis,
and also like
Carmelo Anthony.
Also,
but beyond that,
some of those guys, I mean, like AD, if I'm not mistaken, had just a ridiculous roster.
they
too.
had-
They would have had they would have like won an NBA championship if they
seriously.
stayed together and played in the NBA.
Yeah, for sure. I mentioned this earlier, but I really like UCSB to get to the Sweet 16. That's
Is that
gonna
yours?
be my lock.
Yeah.
Again, like I said earlier, they just have some really
Sweet
good
16
players.
is a lock.
Yeah, Sweet 16. They're going to win 2 games.
Woo!
It's a big swing. I don't usually take these big swings at my locks, but what the hell?
Let's go.
I want to. This is going to be a big swing and a home run by me.
All right.
There you go.
Cool. Okay. Player of the week. I'm going to go with my boy Christian Wood. I've picked him before. I think maybe even twice. Rockets, shitty team. He's coming back from injury. And the Rockets are at a 17-game losing streak currently.
Are they really?
Yes.
Holy cow.
Yes.
No, I had no idea.
And that was pretty much... I think that pretty much started when I said Christian Wood was going to be the player of the week, and then he got injured.
Okay.
Christian Wood got injured, and they lost 17 in a row.
Is there a Show jinx right now?
Yeah.
It seems like every time we pick a player of the week, they're getting hurt all the time.
For real, yeah. So give me Christian Wood. I mean, they're playing the Warriors tonight. I'm not necessarily even saying they're going to win. I just think that they're not going to be complete and utter dog shit.
Right.
Thanks to Christian Wood coming back. Let's see. They got, oh my God, it's just crazy looking down the list of their games. Just L. It's all in a row. Yeah, playing Golden State and Detroit. And, Golden State, Detroit, OKC, and Toronto before we next record. I just think Christian Wood's going to eat on those teams. And, that's my player.
So this is an interesting one for me because I think this player is going to have a really big he's going to have a big first week of the NCAA tournament, and then he's going to be the thing that ultimately costs Gonzaga later. But I think Jalen Suggs, the freshman point guard, is going to feast on lesser competition. But then when things tighten up, when things get tough, you don't necessarily want a freshman point guard.
Yeah.
So I think he might. I'm not going to say he's going to be the reason that they don't win a championship, but I think he's not going to be as dominant a player.
Yeah, he's just not going to quite get him there.
But yeah, look for him in these first couple games to be up over 20 points and distributing the ball really well and being a big part of the reason that Gonzaga dominates the first 2 games.
Sure. All right. I like that pick. Okay, do you got anything else regarding free agency, March Madness? Any last predictions? I think next time we record, it'll be right before, like, the Sweet 16 will have been determined.
Right. Yeah.
I think it'll be right before the Sweet 16's played.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
So anything from now until then?
No, I don't think so.
I don't have anything either.
Yeah, it's just such a fun week. The
Yeah,
NCAA
so great,
tournament.
so great.
I think haven't thought about it as much until today, just because there's still always a part of me with all the COVID shit that's like, well, we'll see if it actually gets played.
Oh, by the way, shout out to all the players for bubbling up.
Yeah,
and shout out to John Rothstein for bubbling up too. He's in there, and
right.
I heard it's legit. It's hotel room court. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So really shout out to all the players. I mean, especially they don't got the incentives that the NBA players do going into the bubble. It's not going to be as nice. The food's not going to be as good. They're not going to be pampered the same way. So, yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. And then we'll see if the Seahawks start, seeing if some guys fall to them in this next week. You may see a couple guys slip through the cracks and get a reasonable deal for them.
For sure. I think even more of a reason to pick some senior guards is I think there was a reason we saw the Heat stick out in the bubble. Yeah. I think it's because their culture, and I think a lot of it's Jimmy Butler, but that Heat culture is so great. They didn't have the most talented team. They probably shouldn't have made it to the finals.
No, they should not have.
I don't know enough about college basketball. I think Alabama's pretty tight. That's kind of why I kind of just picked them to go to the championship, but I think, don't be surprised to see a Miami Heat goes to the finals type thing out of this tournament. And part of me feels like I didn't pick enough upsets going into the Final Four because of that. But it's, who do you, like, which one do you pick? Like, which which 6th seed do you pick to go to the Final Four?
It's tough. I think part of the reason my brackets aren't always great is because I just you want to see the upsets, and I pick way too many.
Yeah.
But by the time you get to the Final Four, it's usually the 1 and 2 seeds that are in the Final Four. You'll see somebody slip through once in a while, but it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
The cream does really rise to the top.
Yeah.
The upsets are usually in the early rounds, and then it's always those top teams seem to end up in there in the Final Four. So
for sure. All right, well, like, subscribe, comment, all the YouTube shit, notifications if you want to get annoyed by us once a week. Follow us on Twitter at Mason Charles Coe, at Aaron Coe 29, Goosehead Insurance, Aaron Coe. You got the phone number and email. And check out the book too on Amazon and Lulu.com. It's called High Points. Other than that, last thoughts, final thoughts?
No, go not Zags.
Go not Zags. Fuck Howard Schultz.
Fuck Howard Schultz.
Yeah, all right, peace out.
See you guys.